Hello everybody and welcome to part 14 of my video sailing course. In this video I explain how to leave the dock with a sailboat under sails. Everything I show in this video you also find in my book Learn to Sail with Captain Sailnator. There I describe everything very comprehensively step by step and explain a few more tips and tricks that I could unfortunately not show in this video. You find a link to the book in the video description. Disclaimer: this video is not meant as a solo teaching aid. It is intended as a supplement to a sailing course. Never go on board a sailboat without an experienced sailor, or rather only under the supervision of a licensed sailing instructor. Thank you very much. What are the requirements to be able to leave a dock under sails? First, we have to release all sheets because the sails must be able to swing freely. If we do not do that, so if the sheets are still hauled when we cast off, then we sail back till maybe this far and then the sails get wind at this point and the boat moves forward into the jetty. As a second requirement, it must be assured that the boat swings freely in the wind. For that, it should only be attached with one line from the bow to the jetty. It then settles in the wind. The wind now blows from above, which would be quite ideal in reality. But the wind can also blow from there, and then the boat settles just like that, and we cast off this way. Now we have to think about in which direction we want to cast off. In this direction is the shore, so if we cast off this way, we go ashore, and that is not good. That's why it's our goal to cast off to this direction and then heading out to the waters. The next question is now, how do we get off the dock? Of course, the wind would blow us backwards somehow, but that would take too long, and you only have control over a boat when it's moving. That's why we set the jib back, which is normally the wrong way. The wind blows now in the back of the jib and pushes us backwards. Now the question is, on which side do we ideally set the jib back? Our plan was that the boat should turn by sailing backwards so that we can sail forward at some point. If we back the jib on the side that points to the direction we want to sail afterwards, then the wind will push the boat a bit backwards, but as soon as the boat turns, the wind blows from this side into the jib. Then the reverse gear is put into forward gear and we sail forward too early. So we back the jib on that side in whose direction we do not want to sail later on. We want to go there, so we set the jib back on the opposite side. Now the question is, on which side is the helmsman sitting? If he sits down here and pushes the tiller away, then we sail to the wrong direction. So the helmsman sits on the side too, where the jib is set back. So on the side in whose direction we do not want to sail afterwards. But the tiller is pointing in the direction we want to sail to. But if we cast off like this, then we rattle along the neighboring boat. So we have to keep the tiller in the middle till we have left the box and then push it away. Now I give you a short summary of the maneuver. The jib is set back on the side in whose direction we do not want to cast off. The helmsman sits on the same side and the tiller points into the direction we want to cast off as soon as we have passed the blue boat. The bow line is now still attached to the dock. In this case I let the crew sit in the boat, but normally he would climb on the jetty to loosen the line and take it in his hand to hold the boat. Then the boat drifts already a bit backwards. Now the helmsman commands, "Ready to cast off?" The crew answers, "Ready! Cast off!" The crew is going back on board and the helmsman commands, "Back jib on starboard." The boat is now moving backwards, and when the helmsman recognizes that he could get around the stern of the neighbor's boat, then he pushes the tiller away from him. And the tiller now points in the direction we want to sail to. Now the boat turns, the wind pushes here in the back of the jib and the mainsail is blown downwind, just the same as the wind vane. The boat continues to turn, and when the bow points in the direction we want to sail to, then we pull the tiller back to the middle again. Now the helmsman commands, "Trim sails," and the crew pulls the jib to the other side. Next command, "Haul mainsheet." At this point the wind blows in both sails and now we sail out to the waters, and then the helmsman tells the course the boat is sailing, and now the sails are trimmed for that point of sail. Now again a short summary of the maneuver. The boat has to swing freely and has to be only attached with the bow line. The sheets have to be released. The jib is set back on the side in whose direction we are not heading to, and the helmsman sits on the same side. Now the bow line has to be untied, and as soon as we have passed the neighboring boat, the tiller has to be pushed away and is now pointing to where we want to go to. While the boat turns, the mainsail and the wind vane are blown downwind. Then we put the tiller back to the middle, pull the jib to the other side, haul the main sheet, and off we go to the waters for a marvelous sailing day. Everything I show in this video you also find in my book, Learn to Sail with Captain Sailnator. There I describe everything very comprehensively step by step and explain a few more tips and tricks that I could unfortunately not show in this video. In the next video I will explain berthing. You can find a link to the video in the video description. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel so you will not miss the next video. You also find a link to my book in the video description below. It is written in a way that you can prepare yourself for your next sailing lesson with the respective chapter and then repeat everything you learned afterwards. The book is also available in a colored version and as ebook, and book and ebook are great to prepare yourself for a sailing course and also to read during the course about what you are just doing. It is written in a practical way and I think your sailing instructor will explain everything in a very similar way, and after reading the book you will understand him better and faster, and then you will even learn to sail faster. A link to the book can be found in the video description. I self-published the book and I would be glad if you buy it and support me as an independent author. Thank you very much.